Welcome to Bethel Online Education Hub. Learn anytime, anywhere. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. Let's learn together, the Bethel way.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting learning journey in understanding culture, society, and politics. Today, we will explore a topic that shaped civilizations, inspired countless work of arts, and guide the values and actions of people across the globe. Religious and belief systems. Religion and belief systems are more than just traditions or rituals. They influence how people view the world, understand life purpose, and interact with others. Whether practiced by millions or by small community. This system reflects the rich diversity of human, the and culture. As we go through this lesson, we will discover the different types of belief systems, their roles in societies, and how they influence culture, politics, and social relationship. So open your minds and get ready to see the world through multiple perspectives. First, what is religion? According to anthropologists, religion can be understood as a set of attitudes, beliefs, and practices that relate to supernatural beings and forces. These beliefs often provide explanation for the mysteries of lives, the universe, and human existence. Things that go beyond we can see or scientifically explain. Importantly, these religious beliefs and practices are not uniform. They can vary widely within a single culture and even more so among different societies around the world. What one group consider sacred or divine might be very different from another group's understanding. Moreover, religion is not static. It evolves over time. New ideas can emerge. Old beliefs can fade, and practices can adapt to changing social, historical, and environmental contexts. This dynamic nature of religion highlights how deeply intertwined in its with culture and human experience, constantly shaping and being shaped by the people who follows it. Now let's talk about religious and non-religious phenomena. Religious beliefs and practices can look very different depending on the culture and sometimes what is considered religious in one society may be seen as ordinary or non-religious in another. For example, among the Kikuyu of Kenya, vomiting is regarded as a religious practice. They believe that vomiting cleanse the body by eliminating all the evil inside a person, which connect to their spiritual understanding of health and purity. In other contexts, vomiting is more than just a physical reaction. It carries spiritual significance. However, in most societies around the world, vomiting is a generally viewed as a biological event rather than a religious one. People usually see it as a body's natural response to illness or toxins without any spiritual meaning attached. Another example is from the Nyoro people of Uganda. They believe that two worlds, the natural and the spiritual, coexist in the same space, interacting closely with one another. This belief reflects a view of reality where spiritual forces are represent and active within the everyday world. On the other hand, many Christians believe holds that the spiritual world is separate from the natural and physical world. According to this view, the spiritual realm exists apart from our material existence and is often seen as an unseen parallel dimensions. These examples show how different cultures understand and experience the connection between the spiritual and physical world in diverse ways. Religion takes many forms, expressed through diverse perspectives and practices across the world. Despite these differences, one important fact remains constant. Religion is found in all human societies, making it a true cultural universal. This means that no matter where people live or what language they speak, they have developed some form of religion or belief system. This system helps people make sense of their existence, explain natural events, and provide guidelines for behavior and social order. Although the specifics of religious beliefs and rituals may vary wildly, the presence of religion itself is a shared feature of human culture everywhere. Now, let's talk about religion during ancient periods. Religion has been central to the development of early human societies, shaping culture, governance, and daily life. Ancient civilizations such as Egyptians, Greek, and Sumerians integrate religion deeply into their world through symbols, rituals, and mythology. First, Egyptian religion. The Egyptian believed in a complex system of gods and goddesses who controlled natural forces and human destiny. Kiggled like Ra, the son of God, Orisis, the god of the afterlife, and Isis, the goddess of magic and motherhood, were worshipped through elaborate rituals and temple ceremonies. The Egyptian practiced funerary rituals to ensure safe passage to afterlife, including mummification and burial with gods for the journey beyond death. Their religion emphasized the afterlife, immortality of the souls, and balance of ma at the cosmic order and justice. Now, let's talk about the Sumerian religion. The Sumerians, one of the earliest known civilization in Mesopotamia, worship many gods. associate with natural forces like the sky, earth, eh, and water. They, their religious practices include temple worships, offerings, and festival to honor gods such as Anu, the god of the sky, Enlil, god of air, and Inanna, goddess of love and war. Sumerians believed that gods controlled every aspect of life, and the humans were servant to the gods, create to maintain the gods' needs through rituals and obedience. Their myths, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, reflect the religious worldview of the search for immortality. Now, let's talk about Greek mythology and their religion. Greek religion was polytheistic, centering on the pantheon of gods who lives on Mount Olympus. These gods, like Zeus, king of the gods, Hera, gods of marriage, and Athena, gods of wisdom, had human-like qualities. They interact with mortals through myths and legends. Religious festivals such as Olympic Games were held to honor the gods. Rituals include sacrifices, prayers, and ceremonies to gain favor or seek guidance. Greek mythology explained natural phenomena, human qualities, and cultural traditions, influencing art, literature, and philosophy for centuries. Religion influences us deeply and shape how we think about the world and around places. It provides a framework or pattern for the decisions we make and actions we take in our daily lives, whether through guiding moral values, social norms, or personal behavior. Religious affect how individuals and communities live and interact. Beyond being a set of beliefs, religion is also recognized as a social institution, an organized system that plays an important role in society. As a common as a social institution, religion evolves and adapts over time, responding to changes in culture, politics, and technology, while continuing to fulfill social function such as creating community, providing meaning, and regulating behavior. Sociology studies religion not just as isolated beliefs, but in relation to broader societal factors. They consider how religion intersects with variables like gender, race, age, and educations, which influence people's religious experience and practices. Religion also interacts with other social institutions like family, government, and education, shaping and being shaped by them. Furthermore, sociologists examine how religion contributes to our response to social change, the transformation in society's structure and cultural patterns. By understanding this complex connection, sociologists gain insight into how religion both influence and is influenced by dynamic nature of human society. Now, let's talk about the functions of religion. First, functionalism. From the functionalist perspectives, religion serves several important functions in society. It helps to first promote social cohesion by bringing people together through shared beliefs and rituals. It provides meaning and purposes to life, helping individuals understand their place in the world, reinforce social norms and values that maintain order and stability. It offers emotional support and comforts during times of crisis or uncertainty. In this view, religion acts as a glue that holds society together by creating a sense of belonging and shared identity. Next is the conflict theory. Conflict theorists see religion differently. They argue that religion can reinforce and promote social inequality and social conflict. Religion may justify the power of dominant groups and maintain existing class structures. It can be used to legitimize oppression, such as by promoting ideas that social order is divinely ordained. Religion sometimes creates divisions between groups, fu- uh, fueling conflicts based on religious differences or justifying inequality. According to this perspective, religion is not just a source of harmony, but also a tool that can be perpetuate social tensions. Next is the symbolic interactionism. These perspectives focus on individual level, how people interpret and give meaning to their religious experiences. First, it studies rituals, symbols, and language used in religious practices. Symbolic interactionism explores how individuals use religion to shape their identity and social interactions. For example, attending a religious service, wearing religious symbols, or pray, prayer can be understood as ways people express and negotiate their beliefs. This approach highlights the personal and subjective side of religion, showing how it is lived and experienced in everyday life. Now let's talk about religious patterns. First, Aminism. Aminism is one of the oldest and widespread forms of religious beliefs known to humanity. It is core Aminism is the belief that spirits or supernatural forces inhabit not only humans but also animals, plants, natural objects, and even natural phenomena such as rivers, mountains, storms, and other elements of environment. Followers of Aminism believe that everything is in the natural world is alive, interconnected, and infused with spiritual energy or souls. This means that every tree, rock, or body of water is not just a physical object, but a living entity with a spiritual presence. This worldwide view encourage respect and reverence for nature. By harming the environment may disturb these spirits. To maintain harmony and protective relationship with these spirits, people practicing aminism engage in rituals and ceremonies designed to honor, appease, or communicate with the spiritual forces. These rituals can be involve offerings, dances, chants, or prayers, often conducted by shaman or spiritual leaders who act as the mediator between human and the spirit world. Aminism is especially known among many indigenous and tribal communities worldwide, where it remains a vital part of cultural identity and daily life. More especially, Aminism holds that the natural world, whether as a whole or in its individual parts, has its own souls or spirit. This belief means that natural phenomena and environmental changes or destructions are often seen as direct consequences of interaction between human and spirits. In Aminism, spirits are believed to exist in both good and bad forms. This spirit can influence humans in various ways. They might protect and bless individuals or communities, or they might cause illness, misfortune, or natural disaster if offended. This dual nature of spirits means that human must carefully navigate their relationship with the spiritual world through respect, rituals, and sometimes taboos to maintain balance and avoid harm. Next is the polytheism, is the belief in many gods or deities, each having different powers, roles, and responsibilities. Instead of worshiping a single supreme being, polytheistic religions recognize a diverse pantheon of gods who govern various aspects of life and natural world. Ancient civilizations such as Greeks, Romans, Egyptians, and many other practiced polytheism. For example, the Greek worship God like Zeus, the sky and the thunder, Aphrodite, love and beauty, and Ares, the god of war. The Egyptian honored God like Ra, Orisis, and Isis. These gods often perso- personified natural forces, human emotions, or specific life areas such as agriculture, fertility, war, and wisdom. The relationship between gods and humans were explained through rich mythologies, stories that describe how the gods create the world, inter- interacted with each other, and influenced by human destiny. Polytheistic religions involve rituals, sacrifice, festivals, and prayers, designed to honor the gods, seek their favor, or appease their anger. These practices were an essential part of social life, reinforcing cultural values and community bonds. Philosopher David Hume is in his Natural History of Religion argued that polytheism was the earliest form of religion found among various societies. He believed that religious ideas emerge naturally from human experiences, especially from the hopes and fears people fear in response to the event and uncertainties of life. In this sense, polytheism reflects early humans' attempts to explain and influence the world around us. Hinduism, a unique example of polytheism, among the world's oldest living religion. Hinduism is often described as polytheistic due to its many gods and goddesses. However, Hinduism also teaches the belief is one supreme God, the Brahma, who manifests in many different aspects and deities. The numerous gods and goddesses in Hindu, such as Vishnu, Shiva, Lakshmi, are considered reflections or expressions of the one ultimate reality. This concept blends polytheism, which monotheistic ideas showing the complexity and depth of Hindu religious thought. Now let's talk about monotheism. Monotheism is the belief in the existence of one supreme God, who is the sole creator, ruler, and sustainer of the entire universe. Unlike polytheism, in which acknowledge many gods, monotheism centers only a single divine being who holds ultimate authority over all things. The major monotheistic religion in the world include Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. These faiths shared core beliefs about God's nature. God is all powerful, having unlimited power over everything. God is all knowing, aware of all events, past, present, and future. And God is omnipresent, meaning God is present everywhere at all times. Monotheistic religious place great emphasis on devotion and worship of this one God. Followers are guided by a set of moral rules or moral laws or commandments believed to be divinely revealed. This law directs how believers should live, interact with others, and understand their purpose in life. Monotheism holds that this one God is responsible for everything that happens in the world, including the creation, maintenance, and eventually destiny of the universe. This God is often seen as personal and involved in human affairs, answering prayers and guiding the faithful. Monotheism shaped the worldview of millions, offering a framework for understanding existence, morality, and the relationship between humans and the divine. Now, let's talk about institutionalized religion, also known as organized religion. Institutionalized religion refers to a system where religious beliefs, practices, and rituals are systematically arranged and formally established. In this form of religion, there are structured organizations such as church, temples, mosque, or religious councils that govern religious activities, set doctrines, and maintain traditions. Institutionalized religions often has formal leadership, written scriptures or holy texts, and clearly defined rules that guide the behavior of each follower. This organization helps maintain consistency in worship and beliefs across communities and generations, allowing the religions to grow, spread, and sustain itself over time. Characteristic of institutionalized religions. First, wide-scale religious clout. Institutionalized religions have millions, even billions of followers worldwide. Their reach extend beyond local communities and national borders, influencing societies globally. For example, Christianity and Islam are practiced across continents in countries with different cultures, language, and political system. Because of their widespread presence, these religions often impact social values, laws, and political politics internationally. This broad influence also allows for large-scale social services, such as hospitals and schools, to be established under religious institution. Now let's talk about the second characteristic, is the hierarchical leadership and membership. These religions have an organized leadership structure that defines ranks, responsibilities, and authorities. For instance, the Catholic Church has the Pope at the top, followed by cardinals, bishops, priests, and deacons, each wi- with specific roles and duties. Only certain leaders have the authority to perform key religious rites, like sacraments or interpret sacred texts. Ordinary members practice in worshiping and community life, but generally follow the guidance and decisions of religious leaders. This hierarchy ensures order, but may also create divisions in access to religious power or knowledge. Next is the codified rituals. Institutionalized religions rely on formal and written rules that govern worship and social interactions. These rules might be found in sacred texts, religious laws, codes, or official doctrines. For examples, in Islam, the five pillars are clearly defined practice all Muslims are expected to follow. Failure to adhere to these rules can lead to sanctions such as exclusion from religious ceremonies or community disciplinary actions. Codified rituals create consistency and unity among followers, helping maintain and maintain the religion's identity over time. Now, let's talk about the separation of church and state. The 1987 Philippine Constitution under Article 3, Section 6 clearly state that the separation of church and state shall be inviolable. This means that the government and religious institution must remain separate and independent from each other. The state cannot favor or establish any religion, nor interfere with the free exercise of religion by its citizen. Likewise, religious organization cannot control or dictate government policies or laws. This principle is important to ensure freedom of religion for all individuals, regardless of their faith or beliefs. Equal treatment of all religions by the government without discrimination of preferences. Prevention of religious influence on political decisions. Preserving the neutrality and secular nature of the state. The separation protects both the right of the state to govern fairly and the right of individuals to practice their religion freely. Now, let's talk about Article 3, Section 5, Freedom of Religion. In 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 3, Section 5 guarantees the freedom of religion by stating, no law shall be made respecting an establishment of religion, meaning the government cannot create or favor any particular religion. Next, nor prohibit the free exercise thereof. Individuals shall have the right to freely practice and express their religious belief. The free exercise and enjoyment of religious professions and worship must be allowed without discrimination or preferences. This protects all religions equally. No religious test shall be required for exercising civil or political rights, ensuring that a person's religions or beliefs do not bar them from participating in government or public services. These constitutional provisions protects freedom and prevent government interference in religious matters, promoting a pluralistic and tolerant society. However, despite these constitutional safeguards, the religious culture of Filipinos has often empowered religious groups and leaders to influence political affairs in the country. Many politicians seek endorsement from religious institutions, knowing the strong role religion plays in Filipino society. Religious organizations sometimes take public stances on social and political issues, shaping public opinion and policy debates. This influence reflects the deeply ingrained role of religion in the daily lives and values of many Filipinos, even as the state formally remains secular. This dynamic shows that shows the complex relationship between religions and politics in the Philippines, where constitutional principles coexist with cultural realities. Now, let's talk about different types of religious practitioners. Religious practices are carried out by individuals who serve different roles within their communities. These practitioners often act as intermediaries between the human and spiritual worlds, guiding rituals, healing, or interpreting divine message. Here are the four main types of religious practitioners. First, the shaman. Shaman are spiritual leaders widely organized for their unique ability to communicate directly with spiritual or spirits or supernatural force. They serve as important mediators between the physical world and the spiritual realm. To perform their duties, shamans often entered altered states of consciousness, such as trances or deep meditative state. In this state, they seek guidance, wisdom, or healing powers from the spirit world. This connection allows them to heal the sick by addressing spiritual causes of illness, protect community from harm or evil influences, influence event or outcomes by negotiating with spirit. Shamans usually gain their abilities through rigorous training, initiation rites, or sometimes by heredity succession. Their role goes beyond individual healing. They are often key figure in important rituals and ceremonies that maintain the spiritual and social well-being of their communities. Shamanism is especially common among many indigenous societies worldwide, where it remains a vital part of cultural identity and traditional practices. Sorcerers and witches. Sorcerers and witches are individuals believed to have supernatural powers that they use to influence people or events, often through the use of magic or spells. Sorcerers typically perform ritualistic magic with specific intentions. Their magic can be benevolent, such as healing, protection, or bringing good fortune, or malevolent, like casting curses or causing harm to enemies. Their rituals are often formal and deliberate, involving chants, symbols, or objects believed to channel supernatural forces. Witches, on the other hand, are often thought to use magical powers more secretly or covertly, depending on the cultural context. Witches might be seen as their harmful figures who cause misfortune and illness, or as protectors who use their powers for the benefit of their community. Beliefs about witches may widely in some societies. They are feared and persecute, while in others, they are respect healers or spiritual guides. Both sorcerers and witches highlight the role of magic in human attempts to control or influence unseen forces, reflecting the diverse ways cultures understand the supernaturals. Now, let's talk about medium. Medium are individuals who serve as channels or intermediaries between the spirit's world and the living. They are believed to have the ability to communicate directly with spirits, ancestors, or supernatural beings. Mediums enter trance state or altered states of consciousness to receive and convey message from spirits. This communication can happens during public ceremonies, rituals, or private consultation. Whether the medium relies guidance, warnings, or insight from the spiritual realm to individuals or the community. Mediumship is a common practice in various spiritual religions and indigenous traditions worldwide. It plays an important role in maintaining connections between the living and the deceased, honoring ancestors and seeking in spiritual advice or healing. Now, let's talk about priests. Priests are formally trained religious officials who serve within institutionalized religions. They are responsible for conducting organized rituals and ceremonies that are central of the religious life of their communities as mediators between the divine and the people. Priests perform sacred duties such as leading prayers and worship services, conducting sacrifice or offerings, administrating sacraments or rites of passage like baptism, marriage, and funerals. Priests often hold official position within a hierarchical religious structure, giving them the authority and responsibility for maintaining religious laws, doctrines, and traditions. Their training ensures they are knowledgeable about sacred texts, rituals, and ethical guidelines. Through their work, priests help preserve the religion's identity and continuity across generations, providing spiritual guidance and support to followers. Thank you for joining this exploration of religious patterns and belief across cultures and history, from the ancient spirituality of Aminism to rich mythologies of polytheism, the focused devotion of monotheism, and the organized practice of institutionalized religion. We see how diverse human spirituality can be. Understanding these different religious patterns help us appreciate the way people find meaning, correct with the divine, and shape their communities. It also reminds us of the important importance of respect and tolerance for various faiths and beliefs, especially in a world as diverse as ours. As we've seen, religions not only guides personal faith, personal faith, but also influence culture, politics, and social life, making it a powerful force in shaping societies. Don't forget to reflect on how these religious patterns might show up in your own life or community and why it matters to promote harmony and understanding among different beliefs. Thank you for your attention and participation. Please feel free to comment, like, and share. Share your thoughts. See you in our next learning journey.